Hi, I'm Laurie Rupert Engel, and this is the introduction to my participation video. I chose to do the participating video found in Standard 6C of our practicum plan. The standard was Learner-Centered Leadership and Campus Culture. Before the actual interview, before the video, I sent out a list of questions to potential participants, asking them to think about some different questions with regards to our campus vision. The questions that I asked them were, how does the campus acknowledge, recognize, and celebrate those who implement strategies in support of the campus vision? How are these contributions and achievements effectively communicated to the staff, students, and community? How does the campus use innovative thinking, risk-taking, or failures as a learning experience to promote the campus vision? And the last question was, what processes are used to improve morale, which moves the campus toward the realization of the campus vision? Before I began, I went online to find our campus vision. I found it on our school's website, and it was very vague, in my opinion. The campus vision is just 3 words: commitment, confidence, and community. From here, I was a little concerned that I was finding the wrong thing, so I went to my principal, my campus mentor, and asked her about this vision. I remember when the vision was created here on campus, and at the time I did not realize as a teacher that this was actually our campus vision. So I asked her specifically about it, and she said that yes, it was our campus vision, and that we had to talk about how visions don't necessarily have to be spelled out, detailed for you. They can be vague or up for interpretation. And at the time I was kind of skeptical about that because I really felt like that was just kind of a blow-off answer. But then as I did the video, I began to see that actually she was pretty right about the fact that a campus vision doesn't necessarily have to be fully spelled out for the audience. In order to do the video, I actually tried to get a cross-section of staff and faculty here on campus. I knew I wanted an administrator, or at least someone in an administrative role. I knew that I wanted some teachers, and I also wanted staff. Maybe people who weren't necessarily interacting with students on a daily basis. I originally asked 8 teachers. I ended up getting 4 who were willing to participate. Of the 4, I had 2 teachers, 2 classroom teachers, and 2 staff, well, 1 staff and one administrator. The administrator was our CIS, and she was the first one willing to work with me on this. The second staff member who was definitely willing to work with me and excited about it was our campus librarian. I had originally also asked one of our paraprofessionals that works in the library, but her actual email back to me told me basically she just didn't feel like she could actually answer the questions at all. So she asked if she could be excused from it, and of course I said yes. The 2 teachers that I chose, I originally had, 4 teachers that I asked to participate. Of the 4, 2 of them were willing to do it. One is a 7th grade English teacher who is a 3-year teacher here, and this is her 3rd year, and I actually was her mentor when she started here. The second one is a 1st-year teacher. She's about 3 months into her 1st year of teaching, and I'm actually her mentor as well. The other teachers that I had asked a co-teacher, or a teacher that does co-teach. So one of our core teachers who co-teaches with a special ed teacher, neither of them were able to participate. And then I also had asked a PE teacher and coach because I thought it might be an interesting take to get her thoughts on the campus vision and how it pertains to her interaction with her students, or her her interaction with her peers as well. She was willing to do it, and she had some answers for me, but she actually, time-wise, was never able to find a time because she coaches after school. So, one thing that I realized when I was doing this was that campus vision that I thought was so vague and so, I don't know how to describe it, kind of a little bit at first disappointing to me, was actually something that got a lot of different discussions going. I just so happened by sheer luck that was able to divide the 4 participants into 2 groups. The 2 who don't work with students on a regular basis, our librarian and our CIS, they were actually, they could come during the day, during my conference period. The teachers that I had could only come after school, and so I divided it that way into 2 separate videos. I found it really interesting, and I make note of it in my reflection, that the 2 who are not interacting with students on a daily basis, our librarian does, but not to the same extent that a teacher does. They talked about the campus vision and how it pertains to all of the staff and all of the teachers on the campus. We talked a lot about campus morale, about teacher morale, staff morale, how we struggle really hard here to find that balance between this is our job, but we also want to enjoy what we do and enjoy each other. And they talked about how that vision, that confidence, commitment, and community really helped build up staff. They talked about how we kind of, at first, the 3 of us were all 3 skeptical because we were all around when this vision was created, about how well the vision works for our campus. And then we all kind of came to the agreement that, the vagueness is actually kind of a good thing. For the teachers, I thought was really interesting that I was afraid I was going to have the same conversation with them that I did with the 2 staff members. And what ended up happening was we had a completely different conversation, and that conversation was all about students, and it was student-centered because that's where they are, the 99% of their day, they're in the classroom with the kids. And so they talked about how that campus vision pertains to the kids. One of the things that we talked about later, the CIS and librarian and I talked about later off camera, was the idea that maybe, especially for our school now, maybe what we want to do is add an extra vision to this, because our school is really, really striving and pushing towards innovating, using innovation, using technology to engage students. And so one of the things that we talked about was maybe adding the word technology or innovation or engage, something to our vision so that it shows that we're really actively trying to engage students in these new and innovative ways, whether it's through technology or
Good morning, board staff. We're needing a person to cover
trying to
Vince
find
Delores'
ways
duty in the
to
band hall.
actually
If somebody
reach
can
our
call me at
students,
4158. That's
meet our
4158.
students where they
Thanks.
are, because that's our district idea. Our district goal is to meet students where they're at, to engage them, and to actively get them learning and thinking, and to help them be successful. Overall, this project was really an interesting eye-opener for me because, as an English teacher, I know that if you leave things kind of vague and ambiguous and there's really not any clearly defined meaning to it, that we do make meaning for ourselves. And as a teacher, I know that. As a reader, I know that. As a student, I know that, but it was very interesting to me that I kind of forgot that completely when I got our campus vision and thought, oh, this video is going to be a disaster, and it ended up being anything but. So I hope you enjoy, and thank you very much.